guys, it's me from the Fiction Fairy, and today I'm bringing you a book haul and unboxing. This is my very first, this is my very first order ever from Book Outlet. I'm super excited. It did take an exponentially long time to get here, but that is besides the point. So I'm super excited to do this. I kind of remember some of the things I got. I don't really remember everything. I do know that I got like a mix of books this time. I think I got some adult, maybe some biographies, and some young adult. Just a big mix. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to get started. Oh, jeez. I really know how to pack these. Ouch. These boxes. Alright. I'm going to set this over here. Okay. Paper. And the receipt. And just as an FYI side note, I'll let you guys know that I was able to get, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, 9, 10. I believe 22 books, and my total before shipping was $21.74. The shipping was $11.60, but the highest price for any of my books was $2.49. Everything else was 79 cents, 99 cents, and 64 cents. So all my books except for one was under $1. So I think I did really good on that one. So I just wanted to give you guys that little tidbit to let you guys know about how much I paid for the books. So the first one I got was Blue Flame. It's book 1 of the Perfect Fire trilogy by K.M. Grant. This just looked amazing. I've seen this a couple times on Book Outlet and some other things like that. And for, let's see here, how much did I pay for this one? For 79 cents when it originally is supposed to be $8.99. There's nothing wrong with it. It's not a dent and scratch. This was an amazing deal. Absolutely had to get that one. The next one I got was Summer Intern by Carrie Karsov and Jill Kergman. And this is, it has a Canadian sticker on the back of it, and it says $19.99. So this must be a Canadian cover. I'm not quite sure. This is a hardback. This looks so much fun and amazing. And so I'm trying to get a couple different summer reads. And this one, for this hardback, I paid 99 cents. So this was originally $16.99 in US, $19.99 in Canada, and I paid 99 cents for it for hardback. Perfect edition, not scratch and dent, nothing. So I just wanted to give you guys a couple little price points when you actually see the books. The next one I got was Fairy Winter. This is the sequel to Bones of Fairy, and this is by Janie Lee Simner. And I have seen this book and the first book around, so since this one was so cheap, I wanted to go ahead and get this book, and then I'll pick up the first one if I see it at my discount bookstore, if I see it on Book Outlet, so that way I can at some point read this because I love fairy books. The next book I got was Slow Love by Dominique Browning, and this is an adult book. This is a autobiography about a woman who lost her job, put on pajamas, and found happiness. She was the, I believe, the editor-in-chief of a magazine. I think it was a garden variety magazine. And one day she just lost her job and she had to learn to move on with her life and really take in every day of her life instead of just being so focused on work. And that's hard for somebody who is, especially like an editor-in-chief, somebody who's that focused on their job and getting the job done, to all of a sudden have no job and have to just take life as it comes and live each moment of life. Each day we don't have that job focus anymore. So I thought this was good. I thought this was going to be a nice autobiography read, and I was really interested in looking at that one. The next one I got was Gone by Michael Grant, and I was excited for this one because I've seen a couple different people haul this book, and it sounds really, really terrific, and I'm really excited to read this book. This is actually very thick. He did go Stephen King on us with the size of this bad boy, so this may be something I read during the summer, but I'm very excited for it, and like I said, I've seen a lot of people haul it, and it sounds really, really fantastic. The next book I got was Confessions of a Not It Girl by Melissa Cantor. And this just, it sounded really good. It it has a nice cover to it, and it was extremely cheap. Like I said, under $1 for this book, so it's in perfect condition. Next book I got was Exodus by Julie Bertagna. And this sounded terrific. I don't think this is the original cover of it, but this is the hardback version, so that might be why it's different. But it just sounded really, really good. And it says, "A miracle of a novel, a book you will remember for the rest of your life," from The Guardian, which I think is a newspaper. So I'm really excited for this. It says 2099, Earth's ice caps are melting, can refuge be found? So again, this is dystopian. I love dystopian, guys. I can't ever really pass up a dystopian, especially one that is under $1. The next book I got was the unauthorized biography of the creator of the Twilight Saga, Stephenie Meyer, and this is by Mark Shapiro. And I just thought that this was interesting because I love the Twilight series. You know, the movies weren't necessarily the best, although they did get better as they went on. I really enjoyed the books. They were some of the books that kind of brought me back into reading later on in my adult life, and I kind of just wanted to know a little bit more about Stephenie Meyer, and they had this unauthorized biography, and I said, hey, I'm going to get it. Again, trying to add a couple different types of books into the things that I read, and I thought that I would pick it up. The next book I got was The Upper Class, and it's by Hobson Brown, Taylor Mantern, and Carolyn Says. And this just looked like a really cute, fun novel, especially for the summertime, something kind of like the Click or Gossip Girl novels. So I really liked it. It had a nice cover, and I like those kind of books. So I decided to go ahead and get that one. The next one I got was Chloe Doe, and this is by Suzanne Phillips. And I've seen this hold a couple times. I've seen this all over Goodreads, and it just looked really, really good. It's fairly short, so I think it's something that I could read fairly quickly, days of sitting, you know. And it just looks really interesting. The cover just looks very, like, it reminds me of, like, very, like, Brooklyn, New York-y. I don't know. Something just intrigued me about it. I just really liked it. So I picked that one up. I also picked up Beautiful World by Anastasia Hollings. And this, again, was kind of like a gossipy girl type of book. And it just sounded really interesting to me. Again, I kind of just really like those books. I know, but I like them, so I was excited to pick this one up. The next book I received was Tempo Change by Barbara Hall. And I like the cover on this one. I don't know anything about this one. Again, this was like 64 cents. So, I mean, I wasn't going to pass it up. And I do prefer paperback books to hardcovers. So the hardcovers I got was because the hardcovers were actually cheaper than the paperbacks. But for some reason, I just really prefer paperbacks. Even though I don't break the spine on my books or anything like that, I don't know, I just kind of like the feel a little bit better. Although hardbacks tend to have the shiny, pretty covers. I really like paperback books. So the next book I got was The River, and it's by Mary Jane Bufrand. And it says, "What dark secrets does the river hold?" So this is kind of cool. It reminded me of kind of like a, I think it might be like a Criminal Minds type of book. A little bit of mystery. I don't know. It seems like maybe somebody died. I don't know. It just seemed really good. I have actually seen this, oh geez, maybe for probably a year. This book has been like 99 cents on Book Outlet, and I just never had any other books I wanted to get in order to buy it. And this time I had some other books I wanted to get, so I went ahead and I finally picked it up. The next book I got was Pretty Little Devils, and this is by Nancy Holder. And anybody who knows me knows I love redheads. I wish I was a natural redhead, so this automatically drew me to it. And then it just had the house with a white picket fence, and it just said, when the parents are away, the babysitters will play. And it just reminded me of Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead. I don't know if anybody remembers that. I think it was late 80s movie, maybe like 87, 89-ish. And I absolutely love that movie with Christina Applegate, and it kind of reminded me of that. So if this is anything like that movie, this is going to be really enjoyable because I loved that movie. I got Foot Free and Fancy Loose, and this is by Elizabeth Craft and Sarah Fain. And this just looked like a really cute book, kind of like a Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants type of book. Nice, fun, summer read. So it says, best friends, different paths, 1 year destined to change everything. So I thought that this was going to be an interesting novel, seemingly about 3 best friends and where they go throughout the year. So I wanted to go ahead and pick that one up. I also got What I Call Life, and this is by Jill Wolfson. And this book was, I remember it saying it was like a girl who goes to foster homes over and over again, and she ends up telling her life story to an older woman who teaches her how to knit. Yeah, so this just kind of like, it just sounded really fantastic. You know, that this girl has such a rough life, and then an older woman teaches her how to knit, and then she just starts telling her life story. So I thought that this sounded really interesting. I thought this was going to be a nice contemporary book. So trying to be more contemporary this year, so I went ahead, and again, it was cheap, so I picked it up. Next book I got was A Father's Love, and it's by David Goldman. And this book sounded so, so amazing. This is a autobiography, I believe, and this says, one man's unrelenting battle to bring his abducted son home. And this book was about a guy whose son gets abducted, and he basically just never stops searching for him, like is going to find him. I thought that that sounded very endearing. This is actually kind of huge for a hardback book, but as far as the height. But it was really good. It says, he has gone not just the extra mile, but mile after mile back and forth, trying to make it clear that his son, Sean, deserves to be returned to him. And that was a quote by the Secretary of State, Hillary Clinton. So I just felt like this just sounded really good. It was a nice autobiography. It was a story that a father's telling about trying to get his abducted son home. So I thought that sounds fantastic. I am a news watcher. I watched the local news at 5. I watch news at 7. I watch news again at 10. I watch the news at 5:45 in the morning. I love watching the news. So I felt like this seemed like it was like news in a book. So I really thought that I would enjoy that. The next book I got was Angelina, and this is by Andrew Morton. And this is an unauthorized biography of Angelina Jolie. And as you can tell, I'm having like a trend with some biographies, trying to get some non-fiction books in here. And I like Angelina Jolie. She's not necessarily my favorite, but I do think that she has an interesting life from the little bits that I've heard about it. From her parents to her brother to her ups and downs. So I was interested to kind of find out a bit more about her, and just like the transition she's made from kind of being like a Drew Barrymore, like bad girl, into like this philanthropist and this humanitarian, and just how she kind of made that transition. She, you know, actually has become like a really terrific woman. So I kind of wanted to just kind of see what that book was all about. The next book I got is also an autobiography, or a memoir, as it says, and it's called Off Balance, and it's about Dominique Moceanu. She wrote this with Paul and Terry Williams. I love Dominique Moceanu. I wanted to be a gymnast so bad when I was younger. Dominique Moceanu and Dominique Dawes were my idols when I was younger. And I just, when I saw this book, I was like, I absolutely have to get it, because I really want to know more about her life, because I just knew she's on the Olympic team, and she was just a fantastic gymnast. So when I saw this, and again, this one I think was like 99 cents maybe. Let me check, because I don't want to be a little liar to you guys. This was the one that was $2.49, so this is the most expensive of all my books. But it was well worth it, because, again, like I said, she was completely my idol. Clearly, I did not become a gymnast, but I really wanted to read a memoir about her and her life. The next book I got was History of a Suicide, My Sister's Unfinished Life by Jill Balaski. And this was a book, it's a memoir from a sister's point of view about her sister's suicide, and how it like left everybody who was still living to pick up the pieces. And I thought that that was extremely interesting, because I like books that deal with social issues, especially because this one is a memoir. And I think suicide, depression, those are things that are so prevalent in our everyday life, and just to kind of see it from the people who are still living, from their point of view, and you know, how they had to pick up the pieces and how they had to deal with it, the pain that they went through, not just from missing the person, but in their everyday life, you know, just how it just turned their lives upside down. I thought that this was going to be a really, really fantastic read. I'm really looking forward to getting into that one. And the last book that I got, guys, was The Girlfriend Project by Robin Friedman. And it says Dating Decoded. And again, this just looked like a really cute, fun summer read. I've seen this around. I think there's another book called maybe The Boyfriend Project, but this is the only one that they had on the book outlet that I could see. So I was excited to get this and get into another kind of like cute read. I love pink. I love the cover. So I'm excited about this one. So guys, those are all my books. Again, like I said, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. I got 21 books for $21.74 before shipping. So you couldn't beat it. I probably will not be purchasing any more books right away, but I do have all these wonderful books. However, for the price, you could not be not picking up these fantastic reads. So thank you so much, guys, for coming by my very first book outlet unboxing and my haul.